Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakakadash. Double orders to the apostles and elders, great millstone and rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing the work, sincerity and truth. Um, yeah, kind of wanted to go into this situation you got, the state of Israel, where you have that conflict which really has been perpetual in the land between the Palestinians and the Amalek out there, mainly revolving around the West Bank. Because the funny thing is going back. It's like these men were meant to have a deal on, the state of Israel be in certain places and then Palestine will be in certain places. But that shit went out the window, and that these things highlight that these guys, these Amalekites, are not the chosen people. They're not fulfilling the prophecy. Because peace is a thing, that's a myth, man. Peace in the state of Israel, that's not occurred on the planet Earth yet. So yeah, obviously, that means these guys ain't fulfilling the prophecy. I'll read into it. So it says Yerushalayim, Jerusalem tensions high as thousands head to Al Aqsa after clashes. So it says Israel said it was beefing up security forces on Saturday in anticipation of more confrontations with Palestinian protesters, a day after fierce clashes at Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque. And yeah, even the fact that in the state of Israel now, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua isn't being reverenced. Yahweh Shai has not got his shine or glory. It's overall, it's a what's the word? It's an element of this world, man. Element of this kingdom. That's why what it says, the least of the flock will draw them out. Because why? America is allied with that state of Israel, and biggest allies. They're looking to both of them are looking to suppress, Russia and China's influence in the region, and Iran as well. Iran and Syria. That's what they're looking to do. So this is what tensions have mounted in the city, the occupied West Bank, and Gaza throughout the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, amid growing anger over the potential eviction of Palestinians from Jerusalem homes on land claimed by Jewish settlers. Thousands of Palestinians were expected to return to Al-Aqsa Mosque after dark fell for the sacred Muslim night of Laylat al-Qadr. Television footage showed buses of Muslim worshippers from Israeli Arab cities being stopped by police on the main highway to Jerusalem. Word of the roadblock spread on social media, drawing hundreds of young men from nearby Arab villages and from Jerusalem. Dozens drove their cars the wrong way down the now empty Jerusalem-bound lanes, picking up fellow Muslims who had abandoned their own vehicles to start the uphill trek on foot. Some chant in Arabic, "With our souls and our blood, we will redeem you, Al-Aqsa." So, this is essentially just come because you got two different groups, and obviously these guys, it's it's basically just that typical racial tensions, man. Those tensions are there, and they've been there. They've going back decades, man. From the Arthur Balfour Declaration onwards, it's just been that endless contention between the two. And the thing is this is not when Israel, the true Israel, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians get raised up and get in their land. It's not gonna be. There ain't gonna be no two state system. There's not gonna be any contention. It's basically gonna be Israel being placed, and the Lord's gonna magnify us. So as such, that's how you know that's not occurred presently. So that's it's gonna be a whole different vibe and energy, man. And all this madness ain't gonna be going down. Everything's gonna be in order. That's when order is gonna be returned to the earth. But it shows, hey, now is all it is that chaos being built. That chaos being built, what, to execute the plans of the elites, who they have investment in the outcomes, of this destruction. That's why. Okay. Police said it was stopping only those planning to take part in riots before the buses were allowed to proceed. Scuffles broke out and footage shows officers firing stun grenades. On Friday, police fired rubber bullets and stun grenades towards rock-hurling Palestinian youths at the mosque in the walled Old City on the noble sanctuary / Temple Mount Plaza, sacred to both Muslims and Jews. At least 205 Palestinians and 18 Israeli officers were injured in Friday's confrontations, which drew international condemnation and calls for calm. Police officer... Oh... Khan. So this is what? At least 205 Palestinians and 18 Israeli officers were injured in Friday's confrontations, which drew international condemnations and calls for calm. Police Commissioner Yaakov Shabtai said more officers were being deployed in Jerusalem on Saturday. The right to protest will be preserved, but riots will be answered firmly and with zero tolerance. So that's, all this going out and making a fuss, bruv. In the grand scheme, it really shows how, because people out here really thinking, oh, going out to protest and blah 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 and all this shit will really has some form of impact or worth or attached to it. But really, as far it's for for these people, it's they're just cogs, man. They're goyim, man. They're sheeple. They're just on a low level. That's why it's even now, right now in the UK, you got those elections going on, and like, as far as it's the same thing as in the States, just that two-party system where all you really have is Conservative and Labour. And it's like, funny enough, like Labour hasn't even been a real party since when was it? Like Tony Blair was in. And then even when Tony Blair was in, he was doing the same thing where he was just it was all about, because what happened under Blair, that war in Iraq, the he is as far as for all these leaders, they do as they're told, and they enact the policies that are leading to that new world order. Because whilst Labour's in, they might chuck 1-2 programs, the Bruck people to get them some money, and Conservatives do the opposite. Regardless, in the long run, they're all leading towards an in accord in where they're going, man. It's all leading to that new world order. So that's all this, this democracy is this is just, it's a vain imagination, man. And it's observable, because what's all that they've said and done. When that's why I was saying with this this election, talking to people in the world, saying like, oh, there's not really anyone to vote for, blah blah blah. I'm like, that means, so you're essentially saying that that's the thing, is you say like, oh, anyone can go up and blah blah blah, bruv. That regardless, the guys getting in, it's always gonna be the main guys in power is always gonna be the big two, the two wings of the bird, and it's they're all gonna do the same shit, taking actions in accordance with what you call it, with the elites, man. So it's like, even with them airstrikes on Syria, it's like with when Theresa May was doing it was airstrikes. Well, even airstrikes, back when Trump was in, America did them. Theresa May followed up. All the European countries followed up. And then what? When Biden got in, first thing he did was what? Biden's meant to come in and save the day, right? But then what happened? He did the same thing, airstrikes. So it's it's all this it's all BS, man. It's all just the same game playing bullshit. But people are bought in, man. People are invested. They think there's because it's meant to be like, oh, everyone's voice count. No, you guys are peons, man. You guys are nobodies. And that's it says what the right to process will be reserved, but if it's riots, it will be observed. It will be stopped. So that's the thing. If you're meant to be protesting, one guy chucks a rock, is game over, man. That's just done. Or one guy gets in the face of a cop aggressively, they could just be like, nah, fuck this, is a rap. Get the hoses out, start beating you guys and bashing your knees in with the batons, man, and get you arrested. All that. So it's funny as hell because it just shows this whole system. It's really you're given your little playpen that you can do certain things in, but you go outside of it, you get your knees bashed in. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in a statement that law and order would be maintained in Jerusalem as would the right to worship. Clashes have erupted nightly in East Jerusalem, Sheikh Jarrah, a neighborhood where numerous Palestinian families face eviction in a long-running legal case. The Israeli military said it was boosting troops on the West Bank and near the Gaza Strip, where Palestinians have sent incendiary balloons over the border, igniting brush fires in Israeli territory. A military spokesman said extra forces there would largely be firefighting ones. Yeah, so these men are just straight getting kicked out. It's funny as hell, because that's how Esau's Rome runs, man. He's got that insatiable lust, and this is spiking those tensions, which is everything. That's how everything's increasing in magnitude. Everything's the tinderbox is you can see it's dry as hell, and there's sparks flying everywhere. It's waiting for something to catch and go alight. Because same thing in the US, you got the trial with what's his name, Derek Chauvin. That guy going to jail, and now they're saying the all the other cops as well that were involved have been okay now. All the other what do you call it, cops involved are getting looked at as well. So it's tensions all round, and then UK, you got the Brexit thing popping off, and even with with the elections, you had what's this fucking guy, Sadiq Khan, get re-elected, and then people saying like, fucking what they call Londonistan and all that. It's everything's been racialized, everything's leading to tensions. There's conflict, man. People are not at peace. That's the signs of prophecy, man. Signs of the times. Gaza Center. Says the tension has expected to remain high. Okay. Gaza groups issued a call for protests along the border with Israel. We salute the people of Al-Aqsa who oppose the arrogance of the Zionists, and we call on our people in Palestine to support their brothers by all means. Masoud Abu Marzouk, a leader of the armed Islamist group Hamas that rules Gaza, said on Twitter. Tension was expected to remain high over the next few days. Israel's Supreme Court will hold a hearing on the Sheikh Jarrah evictions on Monday, the same day that Israel marked Jerusalem Day, its annual celebration of its capture of East Jerusalem during the 1967 Middle East War. Palestinians want East Jerusalem as the capital of its future state. Israel claims the entire city as its eternal, indivisible capital. Its annexation of the eastern section was not recognized internationally. Well, I think Thingy recognized it. Trump did. Yeah, he did. Trump recognized it. But I'm guessing, well, who knows if Thingy even ran that back. Maybe not. Because, you know, Biden's about the same plans anyway. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, it lets you know, man, that the times we're in, it's time at the end. Everywhere you go, racial tensions, and it's always conflict. That's for the last really year plus, year and change. If like France, them man doing the yellow vest, that shit was going on for for a year plus um before the lockdown. It was 56, 54 weeks, something like that. Like over a year and a month, or shit and change before. And all you've already had in Europe, all different parts of Europe, is constant lockdown protests. And as well, and it's they've gone back into lockdown in multiple countries around Europe. And because of all these variants as well, then it's even though it was meant to be oh, you get the max and everything's calm, now it's okay, there's even more reasons for tension. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how the shit goes down, how it plays out, how it shakes down. But hey, it's the time. Matthew 24:3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. Yeah. So, first of all, the disciples, that's what the men of wisdom meant to be inquiring of, the times, what's getting ready to go down. Because as far as for all the prophets that came before, they prophesied what? Of this time. This is the time they desired to see. And we're within that time. So damn, that's why we're meant to be okay, looking for what are the signs that we know, what are signs we know this is looking to go down. So it says the false Christ. And that you've seen that the main one is that white image, man, that Cesare Borgia, which is pasted all around the world. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, wars and rumors of wars. That's all we're hearing. What we're seeing rumbling in the Ukraine, rumors of wars in South China Sea, rumors of wars in Jerusalem, rumors of wars. Even Afghanistan, America saying they're gonna pull out. There was I think a girls' school that was blown up, 30 people dead today. So that's dependent, and them man said they're gonna pull out in September. That's how many months? 5 months, 4 months away now, or four months and change away now. So that lets you know, who knows what can go down before then. And them man have said they're gonna pull out multiple times before, but we'll have to wait and see. And that's really signs of the times, because its conflict is at its height. Even though people in the West are completely sheltered from what's going down, so they're not really aware. They're thinking about fucking Star Wars and Marvel movies. Them man are thinking about the Black Widow movie coming out, or Shang-Chi. That's what they're thinking about. They ain't thinking about wars going down, kids being blown up and shit, man. Because that's what's going down around the earth. Even Yemen, man, that shit still that's a lot of these conflicts, they just go on so long, people just be getting fucked up. Unless something spectacular happens, that shit drops out of the news because no one gives a fuck. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrow. Yeah, so them earthquakes, them famines, them pestilences, and the conflicts between nations. All these things are happening. You got these groups where everyone's meant to be coming together, like the UN and what the fuck is it called? NATO as well. But these organizations are also created for what? Conflict, man. It's because even with NATO, it's like what? It's coming against Russia, man. But yeah, these things we can see they're going down. That's why we observed it. It boosts us up in the spirit. Because then we know, hey, look, these things are going down. It's a sign of the time of the end. Of the end. Sign of the times of the end, man. So we know, hey, look, it's done. It's a wrap. This place is on its last legs, man. And that's people in the world can even sense that, man. They can tell, like, yo, what's going on, man? The political climate's gone completely insane. Conflict around the world is going mad. The monetary system is completely whacked out. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Yeah, shalom.